see you again. How have you been since the last time we spoke?
It's been a week.
Has it?
Yes.
Do you want to explain
Yeah.
what's been going on?
Well, so I had my birthday was on Friday.
Happy belated birthday.
Thank you. But I worked Saturday morning, and my parents wanted to celebrate. They live about an hour away, so after Saturday, I worked on Saturday morning. After work, I headed out to their house, and on my way into town, I was like by myself, and I had some time to spare, and I was like, I haven't been over to like my childhood home in probably a couple years, and like let's go check it out and see what's changed. And so I like drove up the street, and as soon as I like drove into the like not the complex but like just the neighborhood, like it all started coming back to me, like flooding memories. And
were they happy memories?
they were. Yeah. But like you pull up to the house, and I don't know, like a lot of things change. Like it's happy memories driving up, but you get to the house and there's kind of bad memories, a mix of good memories and bad memories, and then my last memory there was a bad one. So,
do you want to talk about that memory at all?
Sure. So the last memory I have at that house, or I guess maybe not the last one, but the last one I recall, the freshest, I guess, was we were moving out of that house, but my parents had separated at this time, and my father had visitation, but he also had a restraining order. So he was supposed to meet my mom down in like the like a parking lot somewhere public where it could kind of be mediated, or like just in a public area for everyone's safety. And he was very stubborn, and so my mom was down at the Albertsons parking lot or whatever, waiting for him to drop us off, and he drove up to the house, and he was calling her saying, I'm going to meet you at the house, like there's no reason for this, whatever. And so we sat there for about 2 hours while he was being stubborn, and I was texting my mom, and I was venting to her about, how this is so stupid, like I was trying to convince him to just take us down to the grocery store.
Oh, you were with him in the car.
Yeah, with my brother and sister, my younger sibling. And so anyways, at this point I'm texting my mom like, sorry, I don't know why this is happening. I'm also venting to my cousin. My cousin is my age, and she was kind of the only one that knew what was happening with my family. Because my mom and dad both kind of wanted to be seen as like this picture perfect. I really had no one to talk to. So I was talking to my cousin about how stupid he was being, like he was acting so childish, and I was texting on this phone that I believe my mom had given to me. I think she was paying for it for safety purposes. Anyway, at one point he's just kind of fed up, and he's like, let me see your phone, like who have you been texting? I know, and I was like, no, I'm not letting you see my phone.
It must have been really hard for you.
Yeah, it was. And so we get in this argument, and I jump out of the car, and I'm like, no, you're not seeing my phone. And he goes to grab for it. And at one point it escalated, and he grabbed me and he shook me, and it brought back kind of aggressive things that I had seen him, like he had thrown my mom around, he had, you know what I mean? And so at that point I survival kind of kicked in, and I ran away, and my sister followed me, and we ran to this one house kind of down the street, down the hill a little bit. And so I drove up to that house too. Like I just remember that lady being so sweet and like so kind, and she called my mom, and she called the police, and like it was just this big event.
How old were you at the time?
I was 14.
Oh.
But it was,
Sounds like that was very stressful for you, especially being the oldest sibling. You must have.
yeah, it was.
How did that make you feel to be in that situation?
It was stressful because I almost felt like I was leading them to, I mean, this was a stranger, you know what I mean? Like, I was leading them into harm possibly, or maybe safety. I was kind of unsure myself, but they followed me, you know?
You were in survival mode, like you
Yeah.
said.
Right.
And so what happened from that point? Did your mom come and get you?
Yes, and then a police report was made, and he said that I was being just a rebellious teenager, and that kind of marked the end of our relationship. From that point on, we had like little contact. Over the years, we've had like kind of little contact here and there, but that was like the big marker of like, okay, I'm done with this, you know, and yeah, but it was like, I don't know why that memory kind of came flooding back to me after all these years.
Right.
But
So you weren't expecting it driving up to the house that memory would come back.
Right.
Have you thought about that in recent past, or do you think driving up to the house kind of resurfaced all these things that you've been suppressing?
I think that it resurfaced all these things, maybe.
So since you went to the house, how have you been feeling about it? Have you thought about this memory?
I have, and I was talking to my fiance about it, and I think that, you know, I think that I hold a lot of like life standards in that house. I had like really high expectations of what my life should look like, and it was this big beautiful house on the hill, and it was like a custom home, and my dad had a lot of money back then, you know what I mean? And so I hold all these like
expectations?
yeah, like for
Or
what
ideals?
yeah, for what I should, like goals, if that makes sense, like life goals. But I drove up to this house thinking it's gonna be beautiful and grand, you know what I mean? And I get there and all these bad memories come with it too, and it's almost like I was at my highest point and my lowest point underneath that roof, which was like I don't know, it like shed some light on like, I don't know.
It's a bittersweet feeling that you could feel so happy and yet have these sad memories come flooding back.
Yeah, 100%.
Right.
So.
Do you think it took away from your ideal of still having that vision in your head for wanting the pretty house on the hill, or can you still look back and have the happy memories?
I think that it made me question why I want all of these like grand things so bad when none of those grand things made anyone happy.
Right.
If that makes sense. Like it's
make
making me question my, like what do I really want? You know what I mean?
Which can be a really good thing in the long run, right? To reevaluate what you want in life.
Right.
And maybe set your own standards.
Right. Yeah. For happiness.
Yes, instead of trying to make it to where you felt as a child, right? Because as a child, sometimes things can seem a lot happier than maybe on the outside and seem perfect, and then when you go revisit that as an adult, I'm hearing that it felt different, or you were able to see it in a different way than maybe as your 14-year-old self.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what do you think you can get out of visiting your home? It sounds like it was very emotional, but I'm hearing some positives out of it too. You're able to kind of reassess what you want in life.
Yeah, I think, you know, it put into perspective, like, of course it was a beautiful home, and like, I have a lot of great memories there.
Right.
And driving up was like,
It seems like our time is up today.
Yes, it is.
But it was so nice talking with you, and I want you to think about this week what some new goals that you would like to set for your future
Okay.
with holding on to your happy memories and also creating new goals for how you want your life to look.
Yeah, I like that. I think I'll do that.
Okay, good. It was so nice to see you
So
again,
nice to
Emily.
see you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.